Today, we are going to be talking about Cody Bellinger and Kyle Tucker. Which players should the Yankees bring in this offseason? Christian, I'm going to hand it off to you. Who do you think the Yankees are going to get, and who do you want the Yankees to get?
I'll start with think, and I think the most realistic option is Cody Bellinger. Coming off a great season in pinstripes, and his contract is probably going to be half of what Kyle Tucker's is going to end up being. So, already you're looking at a cheaper player who performed well in pinstripes. Although, there is a little bit more to it, Ryan. And in terms of who I want to get, I'm pretty 50-50, and I'm
Yeah,
not
I'd agree.
necessarily all on that side of oh, we got to bring Cody back. Yes, did he have a great season? He did. But is he going to do that for another 5-6 years, wherever the contract lands? I don't know. He could. But we've
Yeah.
seen Cody Bellinger's career. It's been up and down. And then you look at Kyle Tucker's career, it is
Yeah.
steady and it is good.
Yeah, Cody Bellinger projected to get around 140 to 182 million dollar deal in the 5 to 6 year range. That's going to be 28 to 30 million a season. Cody Bellinger also 2 years older than Kyle Tucker. Cody Bellinger is 30 while Kyle Tucker is 28. And Kyle Tucker, like you said, Christian, he's been steady offensively his whole career. I think every year since 2019, he's had an OPS above 800. And Kyle Tucker this season hit 266, 22 home runs, 841 OPS. And that's considered kind of a down year for him. He had the calf strain injury. He had a hairline fracture in his right hand. So he dealt with some injuries that probably prohibited him from being his best offensive self. But with him being 28 years old, entering the prime of his career, he could put up, MVP type numbers in the years to come. And Cody Bellinger, he could still develop as well. I mean, he's in the prime of his career too, 30 years old. He could do even better than what he did this season, 272, 29 home runs, 814 OPS. Kyle Tucker also had 25 stolen bases compared to Bellinger's 13. But I think this is one of the biggest questions when you're thinking of these two players is that Cody Bellinger is a much better outfielder than Kyle Tucker. Now, I believe they both have one gold glove, but Cody Bellinger ranked in the 91 percentile in fielding run value this season and 93rd percentile in outs above average. Kyle Tucker's kind of middle of the pack there. Also, Cody Bellinger provides you some flexibility defensively. You could put him at first base, especially if you sign him to a long-term deal. It gives you some options there. If you sign Kyle Tucker, that's a really tough place to put him in left field at Yankee Stadium. So are you going to put Kyle Tucker in right and then move Judge out of right field into, center field, something like that? I don't think that's a good option at all, given that Judge is 33 years old and we don't want to be messing around with that. We want to keep Judge in right field, but that's going to be a really challenging place for Kyle Tucker to play left field in Yankee Stadium. And Cody Bellinger's defense this season saved the Yankees 3 games. I mean, he was extraordinary defensively this season. He really did it on both sides of the ball. And Cody Bellinger has proven he can play in New York. So, I think it's very tough. I think it's a lot closer than people think between these two players. And Cody Bellinger may have the edge too in the clubhouse if you want to, buy into that. A judge said he wanted to run it back with Bellinger. Bellinger said he wanted to come back. And Kyle Tucker projected to get around a deal between 400, 300 million, around 450 million. So, we'll see what happens there, but it's going to be around 12 years. He was projected to get a $500 million deal going in this season. It's lowered a bit, but he's going to get paid big time, and it's going to be a very long commitment.
Yeah, going back to the defense, 2024, they were both middle of the pack and outs above average. So, obviously Bellinger was better last year. I don't know if there's a clear edge. Probably it's Bellinger, but I don't think it's that drastic. And, I think the bottom line is they're just on different levels. Kyle Tucker is just another level when it comes to offense compared to Cody Bellinger. We are going to get a lot more production if we sign Kyle Tucker. So that's where my brain immediately goes as a Yankee fan. ALDS exits. I know we had Garrett Cole, Clark Schmidt injured, but we want to get better, right? So that's where the part of me wants Kyle Tucker. But then I go back to being realistic and well, Cody Bellinger was not part of the problem this year. He was a huge plus. He performed. Really, my only doubts with Bellinger just come if he can keep this up, just because it's been so up and down. But I think it's kind of a situation where you want to be in on both of these guys and maybe don't be the last ones, right?
Yeah.
So, talk to both of these guys, see where their contracts are at, see what their interest level is in playing for New York, Cody Bellinger returning, and just don't be the last to act, because if Bellinger goes off the board or Tucker goes off the board, well, now you're kind of trapped where, say Tucker goes, now Bellinger his contract might be
Yeah.
skyrocketing a little bit. So I would say, first month of free agency, we're not expecting really much to happen. Just be in contact, and then, through that month, kind of make a decision, act quick, and get one of them signed. I don't think you can go
Yeah.
too wrong with either, though. I think Bellinger's going
Yeah.
to be
No.
cheaper. He's going to give you good production. Kyle Tucker, you're paying a lot, but I mean, he's like a step down from Juan Soto. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, you got to keep in mind too. Tariq Skubal is going to be a free agent next season. I'm sure the Yankees want to be heavily involved in him. Kyle Tucker's a long commitment, like projected to get a 12-year contract. Upwards of 350, 450 million dollars. That's a long-term commitment, and I think there's going to be more teams in on Cody Bellinger than Kyle Tucker because Cody Bellinger is a lot more affordable. So you have to keep that in mind too. A lot of people on social media, on the internet, are comparing it to, if you think back to the 2021 offseason, we had Anthony Rizzo, who was a free agent. Freddie Freeman was a free agent, and then Matt Olson was available via trade. And a lot of people were saying, get Freeman, get Olson. And then some people were saying, no, but like Rizzo had a really solid back end of, 2021 with the Yankees. Go with Rizzo. And the Yankees signed Rizzo. Rizzo had, a good, really solid 2022. And then kind of the wheels fell off there. I think that's a little bit different just given their ages, but I do still think Cody Bellinger could have a lot of good years for the Yankees. I think he could have a better season than what he did last year, and which was really, really good. So it's definitely an interesting one for sure. It's going to be interesting to see what direction the Yankees go in. I have to be honest, I would be surprised if they gave out that big of a contract to Kyle Tucker. I would be surprised. So I think it's going to be Cody Bellinger. But, time will tell, and the Yankees will definitely kick their tires with whatever big player hits free agency for sure.